ASMR Coffin Radio.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Coffin Radio. I am Heartthrob Rob, and today we are watching Dark Side of the Ring, Season 3, Episode 11, Bikers, Bombs, and Bedlam, Johnny K-9. The bio here reads, Johnny K-9 leads a double life as an in-ring brute and the leader of the biker gang implicated in drug trafficking, the bombing of a police station, and a gruesome double murder. Crazy episode here, another incredible episode from Dark Side of the Ring. I'm completely unfamiliar with Bruiser Bedlam, aka Johnny K-9. I'd heard the name once or twice, as I see things for Smoky Mountain Wrestling, but, as he wrestled in Johnny K-9 in the WWE, WWF at the time, in the late 80s, just a regular job-looking guy. This is before he's all yoked up, and he's just a jobber to the stars. They show him losing matches against Hacksaw Jim Duggan, or whoever it might be. Just, you're a jobber to the stars. Nothing wrong with that. This is back in the day. People don't understand. In the 80s, you didn't have the two fucking Intercontinental Champion, the Intercontinental Champion fighting the main guy, and then the WWF Champion fighting that night, or the tag team defended all in one night. It would be a main character versus a job guy. Some dude you don't know his damn near his name, But Johnny K-9 was a jobber to the stars there. And he does what he does, in the late 80s for WWF, and then becomes... does some early stuff for ICW, and that's when he's spotted by Jim Cornette. Before I get any farther, we had a couple, the people that are talking here are Lance Storm, Johnny K-9's wife, Bill Dunphy, who covers a lot of Canadian articles, a lot of investigation journalism like that. Scott D'Amore, who is actually the Impact, one of the guys at Impact, big old major huge guy. Jim Cornette obviously is going to be here, and then we have Chris Jericho. Jim Cornette sees him while he's at ICW, and he sees him, and he's going to be a fucking badass, So we're going to bring him to Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and we're going to call him Bruiser Bedlam. And they say he's just a crazy guy, the kind of guy who drives his Jeep in the snow while wearing just a tank top, But, just a sweetheart of a guy, of a teddy bear. He comes in his first match, and he beats Bob Armstrong, of the Armstrong family. He's the patriarch. He beats Bob Armstrong in the early 90s in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. This is that old school territory, man. They can't believe that their guy, Bob Armstrong was getting beat by this new Bruiser Bedlam. And Johnny K-9 isn't the jobber he was in the late 80s. Now he's a bigged out, fucking yoked up motherfucker, biker gang ass dude. Big old Fu Manchu mustache, bald head, just crazy. And they show these promos that for him for Smoky Mountain. And I'd never seen them before. And it's him, breaking bottles over his head, driving nails through wooden planks, just crazy shit. That old school wrestling that I've come to love every once in a while, when you get that old school fix. Because they do things so much differently, right? Meanwhile, as he's doing the Smoky Mountain stuff, he's still getting money on the side. That's where he's dabbling his foot in a life of crime. He's collecting debts or paying up debts, Somebody owes 10 grand, right? They're having a hard time collecting from this guy that owes him 10 grand or whatever it might be. Well, Johnny K-9 says, shoot, I'll buy off you for 5-6 grand. Okay, I'll take that, and then now the debt's mine. So then he gets, you pay 5 or 6 grand. Now you can go collect a 10 grand thing, get 4 more G's out of it. And this is the early 90s, so that's a lot of money. But apparently he's doing that for a lot of people. But when he's not doing that, he's at the Smoky Mountain Flop House, where a lot of Smoky Mountain guys come and just crash out. I did not know this at all, but fucking in 94, he beats Macho Man Randy Savage in Smoky Mountain Wrestling. I have to go watch this match. I did not know that was fucking available, because that sounds great. And Macho Man is willing to put him over. He says, it's your guy. He's in your territory. I'm not really a wrestler like that anymore. I'll come over and do the job. That's very cool, fucking Randy. Meanwhile, this is Johnny K-9, is there for 9 months, and Cornette kind of tells him it's over. Your thing has run its course. Is you a super badass heel here. So he goes back to his spot, and he joins Satan's Choice. Or I don't know if he's still in there, but he goes back, right? This is when things get interesting. He's in Satan's Choice, this biker gang, and they want to go into a strip club called Solid Gold. The guys are taking off their jackets, their colors, so they can go in. And he's like, fuck all that. I'm going to wear my shit in there. So here he is rocking his vest, fucking letting the colors fly like the Warriors, letting people know what it is. And bouncers and everybody, hey, can't do that. We're not serving anybody. Fuck it, call the cops. So they call the cops, stand off with the cops. They back down. Fuck it, all right, you guys are the cops. Y'all win. We're coming back, and we're bombing this motherfucker. So Johnny K-9 is down to fucking blow up the strip club that fucking was talking shit, right? Okay, we'll blow this motherfucker up. And then his homeboy, who fucking the investigator says, he's a cop. He's like, his homeboy, Matt or whatever, one of the baddest dudes ever. So Johnny Canine is with his guy, like, yeah, let's get him back. Instead of bombing Solid Gold, fuck it, let's bomb the cops. And they sure go ahead and bomb a police station like nobody's business. 2 years later, they finally get busted for that, trafficking, all sorts of crazy shit. Homie only does 2 years in jail before they let him out. I ain't gonna lie, he flipped a little bit. He's a little bit of a rat. He ratted a little bit. But, he didn't want to, I don't know about putting a police station down, but obviously he's involved in that. But he said he only wanted to blow up the strip club. Hey, I only wanted to blow up a strip club. I didn't want to blow up a police station. As if this is any better. But after the bombing of this police station, after he gets out and does 2 years, apparently they bust him again because he's wanted for 2 fucking murders that somebody got assassinated. And he ends up getting, found guilty and then released because, okay, it probably wasn't you, blah, 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 all this legal stuff, but it probably wasn't him. The cops still believe it's him. The ones on the show still think it's him, but he's released and able to get out. He kind of flips on Homeboy. What else do we hear? This is when the cops, when they bust his house, it's a SWAT team, him versus like 100 cops. After he gets out, he starts hanging with the UN, which is apparently some other biker gang in Canada. A lot of Canada stuff here. This is all in Canada. He starts hanging out with the UN. He's arrested, and unfortunately, he dies in jail in 2017 at only 53 years old. So, I mean, at least 17 years before that. So, you're in your 20s, late 90s. Yeah, so, damn. You're just about 28, 29, 30, something like that when he's beating Macho Man. That's kind of cool to beat Macho Man at 30 years old. But crazy stuff from Bruiser Bedlam. The first half is really, really good. And when it gets to this later, it's like, wait, has nothing to do with wrestling anymore. It's just, this is crimes committed by fucking a repeat offender. Like, holy crap, holy crap, holy crap. I mean, the wrestling is done by like 98, 99, And he's going from like 2017, still slanging and banging, pushing any line he can, Crazy stuff. But you get a feel for this guy. They show every picture, video, every time how much they love him and how he's a great time. And maybe, I think Jim Cornette puts it, I don't know if he chose, the life of crime or the life of crime chose him. And obviously, everyone's talking about how much they like him, but the cop and the investigative journalists are like, no, that's a bad motherfucker right there. Like, that dude's tough. You may think it's all smiles, but when it's business time, it's business time. So I guess that's the duality of man, right? I mean, when it's crazy, but he's a nice guy to his friends. But really good episode here by Johnny Canine. I'd never really heard of him like that, but I got to watch this Macho Man match. It's a really good episode from Dark Side of the Ring. No snoozers this season so far, but I love it. But let me know what you guys think about it. We'll talk about it in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, and if you like what you're watching, then hop in the coffin. Follow us on social media at Coffin Radio. Coffin is spelled with a K. And that's all for today.
ASMR Coffin Radio.